Hello, welcome to day 19 of the coding process, and my layout's messed up. And today we are going to be adding an enemy to this little game here. And by the end of it, hopefully we will have the enemy chasing. I forgot what I was saying. Right now, all we have is a ball that can move around depending on which way we have this facing, and I'm not very good at controlling it. Let's go ahead and open that up. All right, so what we need to add is, well, the enemy. So we will create another sphere, and then we will, let's go ahead and just reset its transform. And then drag it out here just so it's like in front of this guy. We'll make it above the ground a bit. Um, actually, we'll just set it to 0. Why not? Should I make the ball bigger? I'm going to, because I would rather the enemy and him be the exact same size. 0.5. Okay, that's going to make it 0.5. We don't want that. We want 1.5. 0.5. And 0.5. There we go. Now these guys are the same size. We need to add a rigid body to it. Make sure it's got gravity. Yep. We're going to go ahead and give it a texture too, just so we know it's the enemy. This one. Does that look enemy-like? It looks enemy-like. I don't even know what I have selected right now. What is that? I don't necessarily like any of these. Should we do the checkered pattern? I don't like that. We're gonna go checkered pattern. All right, what is selected? Please unselect that. Oh, I think it was the sky. Now we need to go ahead and close the textures because I don't want it open. Close course library. Right click the assets and create new folder. And what is this one called? Physics material. You may wonder why I copied that, and it's because I don't know how to spell physics. Now create a new thing. Create a new, where is it? Physics material. And we are going to call it bouncy. Bouncy. That's probably how you spell bouncy. Does bouncy have an E in it? Does that look right? No, whatever. Doesn't matter. And now we are going to give it a value of 1 bounciness. We're going to make it multiplicative of the bounceness. And what this does is it will multiply the amount of bounce that is being added to make the thing bounce more. And now we need to give this to the player and to the enemy, which we forgot to name. Enemy. There we go. And this does have bouncy. Yes, it does. We're going to go ahead and capitalize the E in enemy. Go, make sure this has bouncy too. It does. Now when I go ahead and play this, if you look down here, I can enlarge the screen. It should bounce. I forgot to play it before I added the bounciness, but before it didn't bounce. Here, let me just add that, make that 0 so I can show you. All right, here you go. See, doesn't bounce, which is not what we want because these enemies are going to be chasing us around. So we want to be able to bounce them and we want them to be able to bounce us. All right. Let me find out what we're adding next. Alrighty, so we have a lot of stuff to type out in this one. first thing we're going to want to do is go down here in the scripts, right click it, create new C# script called enemy emmet. Yes, that is exactly what we want to call it. Call it enemy. Okay, it opened my IED for some reason. And then we're going to drag enemy into the enemy. And then we're going to open the script. And now we're going to start typing some stuff. First thing we're going to want to do is make well, first I can explain what we're doing. We're making a script so that this ball right here will go ahead and follow the player and try and knock me off. So we're going to have to get some stuff. Yeah. So we're going to want to first start by getting a public float. Call it speed because, well, we speed. And we're just going to go ahead and make it 3 because that's what the guy in the video did. Sure, why not? And then we are also going to want to get the rigid body. So do a private rigid body. And we're going to call it enemy RB. And now we are going to go ahead and go on our start method and do enemy RB equals get component rigid body. Yes, thank you very much. And then we are going to want to, well, actually, first we're going to want to also get the player because we need it to search for the player. So make another private variable. And then game object. I forgot the equal sign. Oh wait, we don't need an equal sign here. Game object. Player. This thingy. What's that thing actually called? Is that a semicolon? I'm pretty sure it's a semicolon. And then player equals get component. Actually, that's not even what we want at all. We want player equals game object. I didn't mean to do that, but that works. Game object and then dot find. And then in the parentheses, and I'm pretty sure it was capital player. We'll go ahead and just quickly check that that's what we called it. I forgot to put these quotation marks here. So we're just going to go ahead and add those now. Player, add that. We are going to make sure I called it player. Yes, I did. All right, now onto the other code. Enemy RB dot add force because we want to add a force to the enemy. And then we want to add the force by player dot transform dot position minus, I'll explain this in a second, minus transform dot position and then times speed. You may be wondering, well, why would you want to do all that? And I don't know why I said I would explain it because I don't really understand it that much myself. But basically what you're doing is getting the position, the transform of this player and subtracting the transform of our enemy and multiplying it by speed to get the force that it runs at and the transform that it wants to go to. I don't exactly understand it that much, but if you look at it, this is actually incorrect because a computer will actually do math correctly and it will do the multiplication right here before the subtraction. So we are going to want to go ahead and add a thing right there and a thing right there. I don't remember what those are called, brackets. And there we go. Now, if we go ahead and play it, you should see that the enemy will just run straight at us. There we go. And you might have thought like, oh dang, that enemy was moving really fast, and you're because or you are correct. Jeez, I really don't know how to talk. You are correct. I forgot to add dot normalized. And the reason it was doing that was because it multiplies speed by how far the it was multiplying speed by how far it was from my guy. And so the farther it was, the bigger a number it was multiplying it by, so the faster it would go. But now we have it dot normalized, so it should go at a regular speed. There we go. I'm gonna try and survive now. No. Yeah, whatever. I think that was all. Let me just make sure we got the speed, rigid body, the player, got both of those, and we added the force. So yeah. I just pressed some buttons. Yep. That is it for that, and I do not know what we are adding next, but I guess we will find out in just a second. Alrighty, so the next thing we're doing is very short. We are just going here in the update method, press twice, space in between the things, type vector 3, and I think it was just a space. I can't remember if it was a dot or a space. I can never remember if you're supposed to put a dot or a space after these. And then we just straight up oh wait, nope, we gotta name it. We name this, don't capitalize, look back done, because that's what we want it to be. Equals, and then we are just gonna go ahead and steal this code right here, yoink, and then paste it right here, add a little semicolon right there, and bam. And name this look direction. Please leave. And you may wonder, like, oh, why would you do that? And it's just to clean up the code a little bit. Obviously, it doesn't clean up the code too much right here in this situation, but this is a learning thing. It's supposed to be teaching you stuff, but it's a way to clean up the code a bit. It still does the exact same thing, but now we just say look direction instead of having to type all this out. And by the way, we still, if in case you're wondering, we still keep these parentheses because you can't use dot normalized if you don't have parentheses around this. It just won't work. Now if we try and play this, it should still work. Yes, it still does, and I still suck. I killed myself there. Alrighty. And I did find out what the next things we are going to do is we are going to add a randomness, like a randomness spawning to this. So that it will, I assume it means so it will spawn in random locations. I did not look because I do not want to like get too ahead of myself. All right, so I didn't like read it. I mean, it's either gonna mean we're spawning in random locations or at random intervals. I think it's the locations because the intervals comes later because we will be making more enemies spawn. But I do not think that is going to be today. I have nothing else to say. Alrighty, now it is time to add a spawn manager for this little enemy guy right here. So the first thing we are going to want to do is what should we do first? Let's go ahead and make the prefab first. We're going to go ahead and create a new folder. Name it Fabs. prefabs, capitalize the P because why not? And then close that. Right click it. We don't need to right click it. We need to drag our enemy into the prefabs. Press Control Z because you did it wrong. Or not. I've done this like a million times. How am I doing wrong? Delete that. Yes. Go away. What are you? What did I do wrong? I'm supposed to just drag it right in there, right? Or am I supposed to create prefab, new prefab, this enemy? Are you sure you want to replace the contestant's prefab, new prefab with game object? Or unrelated, this action is not replace anyways, whatever. That is not a prefab. Prefab asset. Is this a prefab? I mean, yeah, I know it's called new prefab, but that's just because we did that. All right, enemy, you still exist. Shut up. Prefab. All right, I have no idea. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that it is working. And now we are going to want to right click, create empty object, call this spawn manager. There we go. And then reset this thing's position to 0, 0, 0. Drag the enemy into, no, we don't drag enemy into spawn manager. We right click scripts, or we make a new script. Jesus, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Spawn. And then manager. Alrighty. Sorry, somebody walked into my room. Then we are going to open the spawn manager script, which was instantaneous, and then make a public game object, not spawn. We are going to want it to be enemy prefab because that's what it is. And in our start method, we go instantiate, which I still don't entirely know what that means. Instantiate new enemy prefab. Yes, correct. Then we go new vector 3. Then the position, we'll just do the same one the guy in the video did. 0, 0, not 0. This one is a 6. And then add a, because we forgot to, add a parenthesis there and a parenthesis there. Then type another comma, press space, call the enemy prefab, and then dot transform dot position. And it says it's wrong. Why is it? Oh yeah, because we needed it to be rotation, not position. Sorry, rotation, because we want it to be the same rotation that the prefab had. All right. Now, if you're wondering what this does, this I don't know what the word instantiate means, but this basically like starts the enemy prefab. The new vector 3 is choosing the position, and this is making sure that it stays in the same rotation that the prefab says to. And actually, this makes it like spawn is what I meant to say. Makes it exist. All right, I saved that, right? Yes, I did. Now we go ahead and check. Did I put it in here? I did not put the spawn manager in the spawn manager. Now, something is wrong. I should be able to drag a game object in here. Let me look at the code. I don't know. Let me go ahead and go into Windows. Okay, so it just needed saved. Okay. Now drag our prefab in there. Enemy prefab. Actually delete this enemy from the scene too. Whoops. That's duplicate. Delete. Delete it from the scene. Now, if you pay attention to whichever screen you want to, yep, it spawns it. Ah, no, no, I'm alive. Not for long. All right, let's go ahead and see that one more time because I wasn't paying attention. If you look around here, it will spawn the enemy. Alrighty. I'm going to actually pause and play because I want to make sure it's spawning it in the correct place. Where's your position? Position. Well, both of these are wrong, but the Z is right. I'm sure that'll be fine. I'm sure there'll be absolutely no problems whatsoever. Alrighty. Alrighty, so right now we only have the ball spawning at this 6, which is not what we want. So we are going to go ahead and add some randomness. First thing we'll go ahead and do is add some space. And add a space right here. And we will start by adding a private. That is not how you spell private, geez. Private float. And we will call it spawn. Geez, spawn range. By the way, this is kind of unnecessary, this spawn range thing, but eh. Like, we don't really need to do it, but, like, we might as well do it, right? Now we do float. Oh, so close, autocomplete. Spawn. Spawn pause. Nope, not, not paw as in a dog. Pause. Spawn pause. I forgot the X. Spawn pause X equals random dot range. Random dot range. We go ahead and put these guys in it. And spawn range, except one of the spawn ranges is negative. To be. Or otherwise, it would literally just spawn in 9 all of the time. Now, we go ahead and type float spawn pause z equals random dot range spawn range spawn range. Yep. All right, and then the last thing we are going to add is a vector 3, and then we are going to call it random pause, and then equals, and then we steal this code right here, which you may say, oh, that's short. Why are you putting that up there? Because I forgot to make it longer. And then we are going to call this random pause, add this thing, and now we do what we were supposed to do and make this longer. We have to give it spawn pause X right here, Control V, and spawn pause Y or Z, Control V. There we go. Now everything should work and it should spawn in random positions every time once I save. Let's go ahead and hope it works, because if it doesn't, I don't know what's wrong. All right, if you look down here or up here, all right, it spawned right there. Now, if you look here, it shouldn't spawn there again. All right, it didn't. That one spawned really close. We're going to go ahead and give it like 2 more shots. All right. And, all right, it's working. I don't know what's next. I guess I'll go find out. Wait here. Alrighty, so this time we are going to go ahead and make our own. I think these are called methods. And this one is going to be a private, but not a void. Not a void. Vec3. I'm gonna call it generate spawn position. Generate spawn position, then give it this thing and that. All right. It's mad at me. Primary must declare body, body, blah, blah, blah. I did the wrong thing. Okay, it's still mad at me, and I don't know why. If I change this to void, is it not going to be mad at me? Okay, it is. But we want it to be vector, a vector 3. We want it to be a vector 3, so it's going to stay mad for just a bit. Just stay with me for a second. Then we are going to go ahead and take that code, Control V, and then, oh no, our code's mad at us in more places now. Now we want to go down and press, yes, that is exactly what we wanted. Return random position. And then type generate spawn position. And look, the code's all happy again, except for it's not. I don't know why. Why are you not happy? Why? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and explain what this is while I try and remember why this isn't happy. So what we're doing here is creating a private vector3 generate spawn position thing. We are creating another method to type out in. And this generate spawn position is holding everything. It now holds our random.range, and now it calculates which x and z value it's going to spawn in, puts them into this, gives it to random.position. Now we return random.position to the rest of the code with that. And when we type this, it's supposed to act as the random.position. But for some reason, it is not happy, and I do not know why. Is it just a vector, possibly? Yeah, I did not think so. All right, just give me one moment. All right, I realized what's wrong. Forgot those. That is literally it. I just forgot those. I bet it said that like in the words. I did not read them. All right, now if we go in here, absolutely nothing will have changed. It will still spawn in a random place. Spawn in a random place, and spawn in a random place. Whoa, that spawned on me. All right. That is it for this little video here. So now I will go until I die. No, no, shh. Okay. I'm very good at this. Oh, I won. Let's just go ahead and spawn another. Keep it going. Keep going until we die. Okay, well, bye. All righty. See you next time.